Hello from Western New York, and here's Paris. It's a little warmer than what it's been in the last couple of weeks. You know, it's snow's done some melting, and I can take a look at this garden here. And obviously everything is dead. You know, covered in snow. Whatever vegetables are currently decomposing are in a process, you know, they're kind of frozen at the moment. And I'm going to need to, you know, the peppers are dead, tomatoes are dead. I don't know about the geraniums, maybe they left some seeds. And of course the squash. If you looked at this garden about, say, late August, early September, you would notice that there was a lot of squash in here. And I know there's at least, hopefully there's at least one pod in here that I can save some seeds from. I hope. Of course, worst comes to worst, I have bought plenty of squash seeds, which a couple of my more recent videos can show. Basically, I'm trying to, you know, save some seeds, you know, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Well, because basically what I'm out here to talk about is you need to plan your garden. And why do you need to do that? Well, a lot of good practical reasons. Least of which is you're gonna eat what you grow. You're gonna eat what you grow. Because, well, you planted the plants, the seeds, whatever. You put in the vines. You put in the brambles. You put in the bushes. You put in everything. You put in the transplants. You put in the seeds. You put it in. So, guess what? You're gonna eat the fruit that comes off of it. You're gonna eat it, you know. So basically, you plant. Well, let's take squash for instance. You plant a bunch of yellow crookneck squash or straight necks. Well, let's just say you put in a lot of squash. You're gonna eat that squash. So, question is, how much squash you're gonna plant? And if you're smart, you only put in maybe 15 seeds total, and that's three seeds in, say, that spot, 3 seeds in 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 that spot. The idea is that hopefully out of those 15 seeds, you'll get 5 plants. But you're going to snip out those smaller ones that grow out from each spot after you get at least one good mature one. Well, one good, strong plant growing. And then basically you can eat squash cuttings off of these plants. So you need a bit of a plan. For instance, if you're not a big fan of squash, and soon you're finding yourself with like 10 things of fruit per week, you're gonna need to do a little bit of planning. Ann! You like squash? Sadly, Ann is no longer living there. It'll be somebody else. Of course, it's always the neighbors. Hey, would you like some squash? You know? Or give them to folks at work. Oh, yo, my garden's doing real good. Would you like some squash? You know, you gotta have a plan for that. Same with everything else. For instance, like peppers. I'll admit, I'm not a big fan of peppers. But my stepfather likes peppers. My step-uncle likes peppers. A lot of other people in my family like peppers. Or know people who like peppers. So, it's no problem for me to donate them. And at the moment, I'm looking at my blueberry bushes. And hoping that they spring up in the spring. They tend to do that. Kind of with the bleeding hearts I got in here will pop up. You know, you spend good money on them things. Well, decent money. You kind of hope, you know. Can't wait to see what the honeyberries taste like. That'll be kind of fun. Of course, the gooseberries. The jostaberry here would be kind of interesting. You know, I've only had one. Of course, the black currants. Well, actually, this is technically a clove currant. Of course, you got the red currants over here. I would like to find another red currant, you know, or a white. Better yet, a white currant. The kale I planted here is, well, we'll see what happens in the spring, if it springs up or not, you know, because technically those are a biannual, or at least they're supposed to be. Meaning I could get an early crop in the spring, but more than likely, probably unlikely. You know, these gooseberries are coming along okay. Of course, grapes, you know, they'll be nice. I kind of hope this thing grows. I mean, I kind of cut it back a little bit severely. And this one, I might do a little bit of pruning, you know, cut off the offshoots that aren't as good as I want them to be. Now the side shoots aren't as good as I want them to be. And this one, well, probably just cut this one right here, right back down to its base, and try to let this thing grow. That being said, it is a wild one that I got from right over there. And depending on how things go, if I don't like the fruit that comes off of it, I'm gonna obviously dig it up and transplant, put in another grapevine. Candace, maybe. I've heard a little bit about that. Of course, this is a Niagara. This was in a paper pot sort of thing, you know, where it's supposed to decompose. I didn't take the pot off, but although I did get my I did use my trowel to cut down the sides, you know, so that way it could break out easily. Let's see if that works. Well, like I said, when it comes to your garden, you gotta plan it. What are you gonna what is it of it you're gonna eat? I wonder if this rose, or at least this part of it, is from the rootstock or not. Okay, transfer that to my other hand. Well, maybe it would do some. Well, when the weather's getting nice, I might do some cutting and some trimming. See about moving these. Okay, I mean, we've had plenty of wind, and we got a lot of debris that's been knocked down. Depending on how things are, either I'll just put them in the fire pit, or I'll just add them to that hugelkultur down there. Kind of debating on if I should remove the wild raspberries. Might end up doing that. Strawberries I got over here are okay so far. Same with the black raspberries. Although I am probably going to need to do a little bit of trimming. And maybe some selective thinning. Which is only understandable. And of course, obviously thin that out. And maybe get something to do with that bee's nest that's over in here. I don't want to get stung again this year. And obviously going to need to check out my black raspberries over in here. Again, do a little bit of selective cutting. And of course, check on the elderberries that I have over in here. That one looks okay. That one over here looks okay. And this thing's got a good one growing right over. Right into the elderberries. I need to cut it out. Of course, it's got a couple of canes kind of growing all willy-nilly. Blackberries look okay. Yeah, I'd also have to check on the raspberries a little. Might even actually cut them out. Because these ones are the fall raspberries. Cut them out and they'll spring back up. And these are fall golds. And over here I got a Beyond and a Caroline. Again, another set of fall bearing raspberries. Of course, over here I got some blackberries. And of course, down in here, I got, well, that's what I've been working on. Right in here, I got a bunch of flower bulbs, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and I got this hugelkultur thing I've been working on. Transfer that to my other hand again. It's gonna be interesting to see what pops up. And I got some more work to do. Trying to remove the aspen that's been tossed in there. An aspen and a willow, you know. And of course, this is my first hugelkultur mound. What I need to do with it is, one, add on a lot of dirt, add on a lot of compost, and basically let it settle, let it age. That's the important thing. I'm going to have fun in the spring, because one thing I'm going to do is, when it's doable, start mowing. You know, mow this down, mow it, just mow it. Remove the junk, at least put it in a pile, and like I said, just keep mowing. And of course, add stuff to this, you know, add wood to it, add leaves to it, add goldenrod to it, you know, let the stalks break down and that sort of stuff. And of course, expand my mowing over past this fence, some of which has been knocked down, and try to uncover the fence. That way it makes the mowing easier. You know, try to clear the stuff off, that sort of stuff. And I think that if I start early in the spring, when I'm able to, and just quite literally just keep mowing, it won't be too much of a problem to mow. And basically the idea is just keep mowing. I mean, I might have a couple of issues, you know, there's this rose bush here. It's got a lot of nice rose hips on it. And I see, you know, like a couple of stumps that I'm probably going to need to remove. Well, basically, just going to keep mowing. Well, the idea is mow this, keep mowing it. I mean, even if I don't plant something in a specific spot, if I mow this next year, in 2019, I might be able to expand my garden. Alternatively, I can use this area for picnics. You know, have a picnic table underneath those trees. You know, Maybe even have like a nice little campfire out here. But the kids play volleyball or something, you know. And I think it's going to start raining very soon. You know, basically the idea is to turn this into that. Even if I don't turn this into a garden, I can at least do something fun with it. You know, make it look nice. I mean, the kids can. Well, it's starting to rain. You know, that way the kids can have some fun. And just play. And then the year after that, you know, work on planting the garden. Well, like I said, it's starting to rain, and well, I might want to get back inside. I mean, the other thing that might be annoying might be the deer, but that's to be expected. And I got a plan for dealing with those things come the fall. It's called Who Wants Venison? And basically, I invite my brother up, and it's like, well, like I said, deer hunting season is pretty good around here. Well, well, anyways, another thing is, when you plant your garden, you gotta plan it. You gotta plan the amount you gotta plant. I mean, how many people is your garden gonna feed? That's a good question. How many people is your garden gonna feed? Are you gonna feed you, the spouse, the 2 kids? Or are you gonna feed Aunt and Uncle so-and-so, Cousin Slim, Cousin Eddie, that neighbor nobody likes, but it's your Christian duty to make sure that they get their food? To say nothing about the other 30 families in the area. You know, you gotta think about that. And also, in addition to the amount, you gotta be careful about what it is you plant. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of onions, but I do know people who are a fan of onions. So, I might grow some and give the onions to them. I've also mentioned I'm not a fan of peppers, but I know people who like them. But I do like carrots, so I'm gonna grow some for myself. I like kale, so I'm gonna grow some for myself. I like lettuce, so I'm gonna grow some for myself. You know, I'm gonna grow a number of salad greens, you know, for myself. And well, basically, when you grow something, grow it for yourself, or at least those you know like it. Well, and I'm going to need to do a little bit of trimming on this, and when the weather's nicer and not as cold, and the plants won't die back as easily. Well, this is Western New York. Please subscribe if you like this, post comments, click the like button, and all that sort of stuff. Okay? Goodbye.